Hello and welcome. Many times we go into museums or private collections of art, artifacts, pottery, jewellery, and we were told that it could be millions and millions of dollars. Principles that get into valuing such collection of art and artifacts is our subject today. When we are looking at a piece of art or a piece of jewelry, the original value or the reconstruction cost or creating something similar using similar material is what is known as the replacement value or cost of a new thing, and that is the basic ingredient that goes into valuation. The second thing that gets into it is called the fair market value. Unlike many other things which are available in large quantities and widely across stores, which keeps the equilibrium because of the demand and supply situation, art is not like that. Art or collectible items have only specific buyers and very specialized kind of selling. Fair market value is the market forces that are in play in that particular segment. If it is a pottery, then there are specific markets. If these are Arabic, Islamic artifacts, then there is a specific section of the market that leads into valuation. Third important thing is what is called the cash value. Because of the specialized nature, the promotional aspects, the packing aspects, the curating aspects, keeping it in store and display, putting it in exhibitions, all these are very, very expensive things. Often the owner of a piece of a collectible item gets much less than the fair market value, and which is known as the cash value. In addition to these commercial aspects, there are a few other aspects which also get into play while determining the value. The first is the origin. A piece of Mughal art, South Indian Chola art, if it is originated in India, will have much more value as compared to something similar of similar material done elsewhere. Same is true for Chinese pottery, Asian jade work, some stone carvings that are made in Europe. What you are seeing in the background here is, for example, an Odishan art called silk pattachitra. So if the origin is Odisha, then it will fetch more. Third important thing is that who is the creator. If the creator is a new artist, it will take time for that art to get some value in spite of the quality and the visual value of that art. If it is a known creator, for example, the Stradivarius violin, which was originally made in the Europe, are now sold for millions of dollars. The same type of violin, I bought it for $1,200 in US. And the fair market value at that point in time, the dealer gave me a certificate that this will cost $2,000. Next is vintage. Vintage is how old it is and whether during that period of creation there was some kind of a movement going on, and whether people who were impressing creation of art were living during that time. All these are characteristics of vintage. It also adds or deducts the value of a piece of collection item. Next important thing is the condition and the construction. Something which has lasted for hundreds of years, very, very well made, not just craftsmanship, but metallurgy, binding forces that were in it, the engineering, the construction of it. It is a piece of pottery, or whether it is a piece of art, or it is one of the murals. Condition and construction are very, very important factors that add to the value. Last but not the least, chain of ownership. Something which is owned by people who were connoisseurs of art is supposed to have gone through a layer of filtering at each of those hands, and that adds value to it. Anything of value where subjectivity plays a big role, there are items of politics, skullduggery, and scandal. About 5 years back in Massachusetts, a piece of Chinese pottery Initially, it was valued for a few $100s. In an exhibition, it was sold for $800 or $900. Later on, after 2 years, going through the chain of art stores that I told, it was found somewhere in Singapore where it was auctioned for nearly $100,000. 5 or 7 years back, there was a case in English courts in which a piece of art, two fox sounds, it was initially estimated that it is no more than 83 pounds or 80 pounds. And later on, the same thing, the curator and art dealer, apparently they conspired, buy it very cheap, and later on sold it for tens of thousands of dollars. Art valuation is some science, some amount of subjectivity, valued differently depending on what you value. For example, when I first went and saw Mona Lisa in the Louvre Art in Paris, I didn't find anything extraordinary in that original piece of art. But it is globally acclaimed, often considered priceless. I hope that this little bit of exposition as to how art is valued or how collections in a collection or rare items are valued will help you appreciating these finer aspects of life. Thank you very much.